Welcome back. Now, with the release date slated for August 12th, Big B's brand new high voltage film is now on pause. The Madras High Court today stayed the release of Arakshan, a film by Prakash Jha. A financier had actually alleged default in repayment of a loan of 3.75 crore by Arakshan's producer. The film has been produced by Prakash Jha and Feroz Nadiadwala. And the film stars who are part of this film is Amitabh Bachchan, Saif Ali Khan, Deepika Padukone, and of course Manoj Bajpayee. Well, the country, especially Tamil Nadu, welcomed the US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton a little earlier last month, and as a follow-up to that grand visit, the US Special Representative Ms. Retta had called on the Chief Minister today as she made a special interest visit to Chennai. Well, on to why exactly the markets had gone to an all-time crash, really. At the start of the week, many investors and financial analysts were worried about the US defaulting on its debt. Now, the prediction was that if a debt deal was not reached, we'd have a huge market crash around the world. It turns out they were only half right. A deal was made and the US averted default, but the market crashed anyway. Stock markets in India react sharply to the US downgrade. S&P downgraded the US credit rating for the first time ever. Therefore, the US downgrade hit global investor sentiment.
These developments could have some impact on India, but as India's growth story is intact and its fundamentals strong, we are in a better position than many other nations to manage this challenge. There could be some impact on the capital and trade flow. But as India's growth story is strong, we could see FIIs seeing India as an attractive investment destination, even if there is any temporary outcome.
लगता है कि अमेरिका में जो क्राइसिस हुआ है, डाउन रेटिंग हुआ है, उससे इतना घबराने की ज़रूरत नहीं है।
यानी आपको लगता है कि मार्केट अभी सुधरेगा, अभी खुलने के साथ ही 500 नीचे गिर चुका है?
हाँ, मैं देख के आ रहा हूँ और मुझे इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ ना कि मार्केट का बिहेवियर बहुत बार तर्क संगत नहीं होता है। अमेरिका में जो क्राइसिस है उससे भारत के लिए बहुत सारे अवसर भी खुलते हैं, उसकी तरफ भी हमारा ध्यान जाना चाहिए।
यानी मार्केट सुधरेगा आज दिन में?
सुधरना चाहिए।
On to news of the gold prices now. It's at a record high, touching 25,000 rupees per 10 grams. Tracking strong trends in global markets where financial uncertainty increased the metal's appeal as a safe investment. And for those who have to buy gold in bulk for weddings, it's a catch-22 situation. Sam Daniel tells you more about Chennai's situation.
Gold price at a record high, touching 25,000 rupees per 10 gram. Thanks to the US debt crisis. But that has not stopped Antoinette from buying more gold. A few years ago, she suffered huge losses when she terminated her mutual fund policy for an emergency. Since then, she has stuck to gold and the yellow metal has fetched her handsome returns.
3 months ago, I bought per gram 1919. I came the following day 1937, though people told me to wait thinking that it's going to reduce. But then now you know where we stand, it's 2357. So yeah, I think it's a very wise thing to invest. Though the prices are quite high, it's going to rocket still further, that much I'm very sure.
There has been a considerable increase for gold investment in bars. It's about 10 to 15%.
The rise in gold price has also come as a huge shock for many waiting to buy gold for weddings or other family occasions. Usha, who came hoping to buy 5 sovereigns of gold, is disappointed.
In June, I got a necklace at a rate of 2,034. Now the rate is, today I think it is 2,357. So I would have definitely got a much better, bigger, more sovereigns.
And for those who have to buy gold in bulk for weddings, it's a catch-22 situation. With stock market turning uncertain, experts predict a rush for gold and its price to soar for a while. Certainly, the golden trend strikes a different note with investors and domestic buyers. In Chennai with camera person Sukumar, Sam Daniel for NDTV.
Well, on to the news from the National Front now. Both houses of Parliament were adjourned after the opposition attacked the government over the CAG's report on the Commonwealth Games and trained its guns on Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit and Sports Minister Ajay Maken. Now, the government fielded its big guns, Kapil Sibal, Ambika Soni and Salman Khurshid, to turn the tables on the opposition, saying the government is ready for any debate only if the opposition let the Parliament function. The government has now agreed to a debate on Makan's statement at noon tomorrow. The government managers had met opposition leaders to break the Parliament impasse, but the government has refused to discuss the CAG report in Parliament, insisting that it should go to the PAC first. Sibal also said that their only reference and not indictment of the Prime Minister's office in the CAG report. Youth Congress workers were lathi charged in Lucknow when they were trying to march towards the Uttar Pradesh Assembly. Youth Congress were planning to do a gerao of the Assembly and had launched a protest called Lalkar Divas and were heading towards the Assembly when they were clashed with the policemen. Now, the police also used tear gas shells and water cannons to stop protesting workers. Well, in a setback to Kerala Chief Minister Oommen Chandy, a special court in Thiruvananthapuram had asked the prosecution to probe his role in the palm oil import scam of 1992. Chandy was finance minister during that period when the palm oil and an edible oil was imported from Malaysia, a deal which the CAG found had caused a loss of over 2 crore rupees to the exchequer. The case gained momentum in February this year when the then food minister T.H. Mustafa had an accused in the case in a petition said that if Chandy was exempted from the case, he too should be discharged. Well, a historic change of guard for Tibet. 43-year-old Lobsang Sangay has taken oath as the Prime Minister-elect of the Tibetan government in exile. He took over the religious head, the Dalai Lama. The Harvard scholar was elected to office earlier this year. Sangay's election is said to be a historic shift from the dominance of Tibetan politics by religious figures. Well, the Supreme Court will hear the suo motu case on police crackdown on Ramdev and his followers on June 4th. This after the top court judge watched visuals of the crackdown on Friday. The court had on June 6th taken suo motu cognizance of the police action on a gathering of Ramdev at Ramlila Maidan. Well, we've heard of the famous Hollywood movie Sixth Sense, right? We tell you all about the 7th in just a bit. Tamil style coming up.